Good morning to everybody. Okay, this is all in all free physics classes. Okay, where physics is made easy. Okay, physics is made easy in the sense we can discuss physics in a smart way. Okay, in a conceptual manner. Okay, Hmm. So today's class is about electromagnetic induction. Is very important chapter. So in the coming chapters, this will be the basic for the that is alternating currents, electrical devices. The basic for those subjects or those topics are electromagnetic induction principle only. Okay. Hmm. Here where the agenda for the today's class is introduction, electromagnetic interaction, electromagnetic induction. Okay, magnetic flux pi b. So unit of dimensional formula for pi b. Electromagnetic induction experiments done by Michael Faraday. Flux linkages. Faraday's laws of electromagnetic, there is two laws, first law and second law. Okay, then induced charge and change in magnetic flux. Okay, so let us discuss electromagnetic induction. We know in our previous chapters, we know that Oersted in 1820 discovered that the current carrying conductor can simply produce magnetic field around the conductor. Okay, if a current carrying conductor can produce a magnetic field, then the magnetic field in turn, the reverse process, that is the reverse process, will produce electric field and electric current, isn't it? So later, after 10 years from 1820, the British scientist Michael Faraday does an experiment and he proved a magnetic field can produce electric field and electric current. Okay, so he succeeded in proving that. Okay, so we are going to discuss that electromagnetic induction in detail in this chapter. Okay, so later on we will be moving to the 1 mark questions, 2 mark questions, and the derivations and the numericals based on board exam pattern. Okay, then so what is electromagnetic induction is all about? So here is a conductor surface with the surface area A. Okay, there is a magnetic field. Okay, before that, a magnetic field is a magnetic lines of force represented by symbol pi. We simply call it as a magnetic flux. Okay, we can simply call it as a magnetic flux. Okay, so magnetic flux is represented. We cannot see the magnetic lines of force with our naked eyes. Okay, we cannot see. So we are representing the magnetic lines of force as pi. Okay, so what is then? What is magnetic flux is all about? Okay, what is the definition for magnetic flux? So magnetic flux pi b through any surface. Magnetic flux pi b through any surface held in the magnetic field. It is held in the magnetic field, isn't it? Held in the magnetic field is the felt B is defined as the total number of magnetic lines of force crossing the surface normally. Crossing the surface, total number of flux lines means there are here in this figure, there are 5 magnetic lines. For example, 5 magnetic lines, it is passing through the surface. Normally means it is perpendicular. It may when it crosses through the surface area, it makes 90 degree. Normally means it is 90 degree, isn't it? You know that. Okay. Then this is the definition for magnetic flux pi b. So this is the first case. Okay. So actually Michael Faraday discovered that an induced EMF is induced in a conductor due to magnetic field is because of change in flux linked with the coil. So when the change in flux linked with the coil or conductor changes, the flux linked with the coil or conductor changes, an induced EMF is induced in that conductor. Okay, as a result, current is flowing through that conductor. Okay, see, this is the conductor surface. So if at all if flux linked with the coil has to change, means there must be some linear motion or angular motion, that is rotational motion. Okay, so this conducting surface area, this conductor, see here is the figure. I am tilting this conductor. This is a two-dimensional figure. I am tilting this conductor to a certain angle. Okay, so this is the vector which makes 90 degree with the conducting surface. Okay, that is A vector, area vector. We call this as area vector. Okay, then theta is the angle between B vector, that is magnetic field B vector, and the A vector. So when we keep on tilting or rotating the conductor, it makes an angle changes, and the flux linked with the coil also changes. As a result, an EMF is induced in that conductor. So this is what Michael Faraday discovered. Okay, so simply whenever flux linked with the coil changes due to motion of the conductor, whether it is angular motion or linear motion, whatever it is, whenever the flux linked with the coil changes, an induced EMF is induced in that conductor. Okay, this is called electromagnetic induction. Okay, simply. Okay, then let us move on to other chapter. Yes, magnetic flux pi. This is the magnetic field. Okay, there is a conducting surface with a surface area A. Okay, the conductor surface is not a perpendicular one. Okay, it is tilted to a certain angle theta. Okay, so we have to draw a area vector A which is normal to the, that is it makes 90 degree with the conducting surface. Okay, then theta is the angle between magnetic field B and the area vector A. Okay, then flux pi is equal to dot product of area vector into B vector, that is nothing but magnetic field. Okay, so already we know that the cross product is nothing but this is the B vector, this is area vector. Okay, what is cross product? We have to calculate the magnitude of A vector which is projected over the B vector. Draw a perpendicular line which intersects the B vector. So this is the magnitude of A vector over the B vector. Okay, this is the angle theta. We know that cos theta is equal to, that is this is P, Q and R equal to PQ divided by P. So cos theta is equal to PQ divided by PA is nothing but A. Then PQ is equal to A cos theta. Okay. So this is A cos theta. The magnitude is A cos theta. Over the line B vector. Okay. Then mathematically in a plane surface with the surface area A, then magnetic flux pi is A cos theta into B. We can simply write this as A into B into cos theta. So the magnetic flux phase pi is simply AB into cos theta, where theta is the angle between A vector and B vector. Okay. So the vector form is pi is equal to A vector into B vector, simply. Okay. Then dot product of A into B gives pi value, magnitude of pi value. Then pi is a scalar quantity. Pi is a scalar quantity. It has magnitude but don't have any direction. This is simply a value. It's a magnitude. It is a scalar quantity. Okay. Let us move on to next topic. Okay. So next topics, we are going to discuss some special cases. Okay. Special cases. Some special cases. That is case 1. What is case 1? When surface area is parallel to magnetic field B. What is the value of or magnitude of flux when the surface area is parallel to the magnetic field B? Okay, that is when theta is equal to 90 degree. When theta is 90 degree. This is the magnetic field. Okay, this is the magnetic field. See, the conducting surface is the surface area is parallel to magnetic field B. Okay. So we have to draw a normal vector perpendicular to surface area, which is A vector. Then it makes a angle 90 degree. Okay. So that is theta angle between B vector and A vector is 90 degree. So we know that from our previous discussion, pi is equal to A into B into cos theta. Okay. Here we know cos 90 equal to 0. Cos 90 is equal to 0. Then pi is equal to AB into 0. So magnetic flux pi is equal to 0. Okay. From case 1, when the surface area is parallel to the magnetic field, the angle it makes, the area vector it makes with the magnetic field B is 90 degree, then cos theta is equal to cos 90 equal to 0. Okay, then pi is equal to A into B cos theta, then AB is equal to cos theta is 0, so pi is equal to 0. So we come to the conclusion, when the surface area is parallel to the magnetic field, the magnetic field is 0. Sorry, it's not magnetic field, it is magnetic flux. Okay, magnetic flux is 0. Okay, then what is the case 2? Case 2, when the surface area is perpendicular to magnetic field B. When the surface area is perpendicular to magnetic field B, that is, here is the magnetic field B. Okay, this is the surface area A. So we have to draw A vector normal to the surface area A. Okay, so the angle theta between magnetic field B and the area vector A is theta is equal to 0 in this case. Okay, so when we draw A vector perpendicular or normal to the surface area, so theta, we know that theta is the angle between B vector and A vector, that is area vector and B vector, which is magnetic field. So in this case, theta is equal to 0. Okay, so we know magnetic flux pi is equal to AB cos theta. Here theta is equal to 0 degree, therefore cos 0 degree is equal to 1. Okay, so pi is equal to AB into 1, then pi is equal to AB, which is maximum. In this case, the flux is maximum, that is, number of flux lines linked with the coil is maximum. Okay, pi is equal to A into B, which is maximum in this case when the surface area is perpendicular to the magnetic field B. Okay, so we have to sum up. Okay, we have to sum up. So the magnetic flux lines are nothing but flux lines passing through the surface area normally in the which is held in the magnetic field B. Okay, so it is pi is cross product of area vector into B vector, then pi is equal to AB cos theta, where theta is the angle between A and B. Okay, so we have discussed two special cases for which is very, very important. Special cases for magnetic flux. When surface area is parallel to the magnetic field B, theta is equal to 90 degree. Then it makes a 90 degree with the B and area vector A. Then theta is 90 degree, cos 90 equal to 0. Then magnetic flux is 0 when the surface area is parallel to the magnetic field. Case 2, when the surface area is perpendicular to magnetic field B, pi is equal to AB cos theta. It makes 0 degree with the A vector and B vector. Theta is equal to 0 degree, cos 0 is equal to 1. Then AB is equal to into 1 gives pi is equal to AB, which is maximum flux linked with the coil when the conductor is placed perpendicular to the magnetic field B. Okay, so when the surface area is perpendicular to the magnetic field, the flux linked with the coil is maximum. When the surface area is parallel to the magnetic field, the flux linked with the coil is zero. Okay, this is the conclusion. Okay, this is first part of our video on electromagnetic induction. Okay, we hope that you find this video very useful to all the students. We will be uploading more and more such videos. Okay, please subscribe and share this video to your friends. Okay, also we are going to attach a PDF file and notes on this electromagnetic induction shortly. Thank you.